So I don't know how much entertainment I'm going to provide you today, except, I'm creating stock. Do you remember that rattan chair that we replaced in the garden? Beginning of the summer, I guess. Look, that rattan chair. Look, we replaced it, didn't we? Well, me being me and you being you didn't really want to throw it away, did you? Because there's handy bits of, it was made of handy box section. You just never know when you're going to come in handy. Anyway, I threw it all in there, didn't I? And it's been sitting there for so long. It needs doing. So let me just do half of this and then I'll show you what I'm doing. So it starts like this, doesn't it? It's all wrapped around and then you sit on it. So what you do then is you strip it down to, and you see it's just staples of some sort. Yeah. So we don't, I reckon, I've decided to use a flap disc. So a flap disc is strong enough to take the head off this staple without damaging the actual piece. And all right, you wouldn't use the whole of this, you'd just use the piece that you want out of it, don't you? So you just clean it up so you can put it away, take as little space as possible, put it away to the stores, but at the same time you don't really want to catch the do much damage to the square, because it's mightily thin anyway. It's going to be difficult to weld, but not impossible to weld if you need it, or to shape if you need it. You need it, so you need to hang on to as much strength and rust proofingness that you can have. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop the ends of these staples. I don't know how these, you can't call them anything else, they aren't screws. They're just a staple. It must go bang, 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 bang in the speed of manufacturing them. So let's see if we can just take these off without taking the painting off or whatever else you need. So they'll store. Let's try that then. So now you see, if I'd used a grindstone, I think a grindstone would have been put too many cuts and weakened it too much. But I've just basically flap disked the top of that staple off, which has released the plastic. It is got a dent of where there must be a mighty machine. You wouldn't want to put one of these through your finger, would you? You wouldn't have much of a finger left. The way they connect it, I can hear it now going ka-junk, 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 ka-junk. Okay, the top of it, obviously, whatever job you got to do, but actually, that's not a bad piece of square box section to do something whenever, however, whenever it's in the stores. Because if I sent you off to the shop now to go and buy this, you want to make a connection, you want to do something, where have you got it? Where have you got it? So, okay, when you come to use it, you might grind them flat and you might give it a lick of paint. But we're not at that stage. We're just in the stage of being able to store it for half a reasonable time without it just rotting. You know, we could use it next month. We could use it next year. We could use it in 10 years' time. It might be 20 years before we get round to using it. It stays in the store, who knows? But we've got it if we need it. And of course I'll clean up and tidy up and all that'll go in the bin and take a lot less space than just basically being thrown on the floor in the corner. But it's a tedious job to be doing. Oh. Well, I'm not really sure which bit this came off, but I can imagine that. Do you remember the shit show that was the top of the arch of the lights on the Goldwing on the lightweight parade? Melted, didn't it? I mean, it's light enough, it's in small enough pieces, it might just all connect together. You know, put a small piece in a big piece, that might be the top of the arch for the top of the aerial. Well, whether we'll make an aerial or we'll just have to make another frame that sits up there somehow without interfering with the bike, that just sort of clips on. But that would be a nice top of the light, wouldn't it? Between the aerials on the bike, that archway. Oh, maybe. It's light enough, small enough. That might be the top of the arch. What do you think? With a load of lights on it for next year's Candid No Light Parade or whatever else we decide to do. So what starts off as a knackered chair out the garden, now you've cut it into pieces, you've got the main bits off, and now it's a whole mess of plastic all connected on, and you know, spend a bit of time, clean it up, and you've got yourself one of these. Look. Now I've got to be honest with you, I don't think it would do much of a job as being a tube. What do you see? Them rivets are one hell of a thing, aren't they? Them staples. Look at that. Look at the power it's taken to drive those rivets into there to hold the plastic. And then they've come right through there, look. Wow. Some force, isn't it? Something. Rather than just bend the rivets. Anyway, obviously you wouldn't really use this as a tube of something. You'd be alright if you were connecting it, using it as a bridge to bridge one side to another, maybe. Spotty down side so you wouldn't see it. If you wanted to cut this out and that out and put it over something, a piece or whatever, I don't know what you would ever use it for, but it's now in the stores. So for a little bit of effort and filth, you've got it there now, haven't you? I can imagine with this you'd cut this out and then you might join it back together, or yeah, you might cut that out and join it back together, make it into a smaller pipe, more of a cover for something, some protection, or it's still good enough to join this to that end to brace something or hold something together, whatever you were doing. Who knows what you're doing when you're doing it, but at least we've got it in the stores to use one day. I don't know. It's got to be worth the effort, isn't it? Because that's the fun of making. That's the fun of making sure you've got everything and being able to handle a little job comes along, or Reggie, this needs welding, or this is broken, or you know, oh, I've got a piece of tube. If we put this piece of tube there and we do this with it, we'll have success, won't we? Or am I just going mad? Or am I just going mad? So, we've got them. We've got them into bits. We've took all the plastic off them. So do you cut them down into uniform pieces? Do you clean that up? Now, this has got a lovely handy welded thing. That would do great for something, wouldn't it? Because that's already there. But do you cut the T-piece off there? Do you cut it there? And when you get to the job, you need it that little bit longer. Or do you need this long? Do you cut that there? How do you store it? Do you want to... I guess that's got to go. And there'd probably be no use for that at all. But this T-piece, it's awkward and sticking out for storage. But that might just do whatever you're looking for. That's the thing, isn't it? What do you strip clean? What do you keep? Do you cut the rotten ends off? I mean, you know, ideally you'd probably cut that there, and you'd have a nice clean piece of tube. But what if you needed it to go right to the very end? And right to the very end there. How many have you got a piece, but it's not quite long enough, won't do, so you have to keep searching. So how clean is clean? Oh, look at that. I don't know where it came from, which bit it came from, but can you see what I can see? I can see a instant screwdriver holder. Yeah, and they go on the wall today. Yeah, that is an instant screwdriver holder. Or shall I put it on a hinge like those tool holders? Put it on a nice little hinge that, you know, when is a shelf not a shelf? When it's a hinge. You could put this on the end of a hinge, much like these really. Yeah. Well, that was a surprise. Never knew that was there. What a lovely surprise. Just cleaned up the ends. Cleaned it all up. Yeah. These are a bit spiky. I mean, if you were that way inclined, you would get a bit of body filler, wouldn't you? You'd just put a bit of body filler in there and rub it across. Something like that, you know. Just to make the top smooth, just to get rid of the sharp. Because that is indented downwards. But if you were that way inclined, you get a bit of body filler. Fill them with a bit of body filler maybe. Or even put the thing in upside down and just do these. Get them as smooth as you can so you just don't catch. They're a bit catchy on the skin. So, but otherwise, that's potentially, I'm thinking, a screwdriver holder or maybe a chisel. We've had a load of chisels in, haven't we? A wooden chisel holder. Blimey. Oh, I wonder if there's any more in there. I wonder if there was two of them. The reason I say that is that was there, that arch thing was there, and this arch thing was there. And it is a two-seater, so cross your fingers. Let's go see if we can find one of them. We're in luck. We're in luck. We've got one here, look. Got one that we've just cleaned up. And we've got one in here to clean up. So there was two. It is a two-seater. There was two of them, whatever they were. Blimey. I can feel a screwdriver or a chisel holder coming. Can you? Oh, we've got two of them. Yeah, we've got two of them. I was thinking maybe back to back, but back to back wouldn't really work because there's not enough room for that chisel handle. But if we sort of put a spacer in between, made it like this, look, back to back, hold on, back to back and apart from each other, put a little plate across the end there, then turn that, put that on a hinge that opens and shuts. I do like shelves that you can get out of the way. That would do a lovely chiseled stroke screwdriver or whatever holder, wouldn't it? Oh yeah. We've got to figure out how we do the hinge now, because you know we don't buy hinges. We don't buy hinges in this place, do we? We make our own. We make our own hinges with a. There's a hell of a mess. Oh, there's a hell of a mess. I've got loads of tidying up to do. We make our own hinges here, don't we? So we've got to think about how we're going to make a homemade hinge like we do on these doors here, look. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be fun figuring that out, won't it? Oh, so I've hit another bit of gold. You might think of this as a bar with two holes in. I see it as two holes you don't have to drill with a bar connected to it. Yes. You just see things at a slightly different angle, don't we? And look at this. It was screwed to it. This is not a bar. This is two, what they call nutserts, aren't they? These are, this is two threaded nuts connected to a bar. How handy is that? How useful is that? These two are connected together like that, look. They're on part of the mechanism, whatever, however. It was like that, look. But drilling a hole is a right pain, especially a nice long one like that. That's a handy piece, isn't it? Whenever you're doing something. And that's a handy piece because that's already in there, isn't it? For whatever you're doing. Lovely jubbly. The rubbish pile is going down. That pile's coming down. This pile is growing. But nevertheless, we're getting there. bit by bit, we're getting there. So, my little kiddywinkles, the moral of the story is it worth climbing over the fence in the middle of the night and nicking your neighbour's rattan chair to strip down for stock? Probably not. Probably not a good idea. Probably not worth it to sit there for ages to clog up your pathway, to be able to cut it down and strip it. But as far as if you've got your own and you were about to just throw it away, it's made a bit of plastic for the bin. It's made some lovely stock, hasn't it? You know, and depending on how you think, you know, times is getting tough. Are we going to enter the world of mend and make do? Are we going to have to do more repairs on stuff? Things are going to get dearer and dearer and dearer. So is it time to start keeping a bit of stock, keeping a bit of everything, just in case? I mean, okay, I'm slightly different. I want to be Mr. See, we've got some slightly bigger stuff, slightly smaller stuff, slightly square stuff, slightly curved stuff, a victim for a screwdriver holder. I think that was been all right. A little bit of effort, and it takes up a hell of a lot less space. I know where I'm going to put that now. I'm going to put that under here. I'll show you that. But for a little bit of effort and a bit of dismantling, I think. But wow, that plastic, when you hit it with the flap disc, there's crap everywhere and all over me. Yeah. So, I better go and clean myself up before the missus catches me. So she allows me back in the house. So, let's make a final tally. Let's make a final tally of what's come in. That's all pretty good. We've kept that frame. We had some like plastic planks of wood on there. That was odd. Bits and pieces. You just never. Oh, there's some feet on these. Look. So there'll be 4 feet pieces somewhere. Not bad. Takes a lot less room than it was. All that plastic's out the way. We'll hide this away now in the stores. Hide that away in the stores. What was available? I'll tell you what though. Whoa, the dust that's come off this. That flap grinder. Wow, that flap grinder knows how to. Look at the thickness on you. Look at this. Unbelievable, isn't it? That's that plastic stuff. That's that grinding through the plastic. That is. Wow. Well, I was supposed to clean up, but I've ended up putting dust and crap all over the place. Reggie, you idiot! How are you going to get back in the house now without stripping up? I'm going to have to strip off outside before I go in the house, aren't I? Woo! Well, do I look like a brand new penny? Yeah. Wow, what a filthy job. I had to call out the emergency services. Yeah, not the fire brigade, the police or the ambulance, not even the 4th emergency services, which is really the breakdown service. Come down the list a bit more. I had to call out the emergency chimney sweep services to get to sweep my nose. Anyway, yeah, that was way more dirtier job than I thought of. It was covered in the stuff. Anyway, that job's done and out of the way. Hooray! Come on, it's Charlie Cuddle time, is it? Come on then. Can I have Goosey? Give me Goosey. Thank you. Come on then. Oh, come on then. Oh, you big woolly bear. You in the right spot there? You big bear. What you doing? What you doing? You alright? Oh, you like that, don't you? Oh, you like that, don't you? Hmm? You love being talked to. Like having a conversation, don't you? And a bit of a cuddle, a bit of a squeeze. Hmm? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Like that, don't you? Hmm? You like your ears rubbed. It's not good for you. No, it's not good for you. You a good boy? Hmm? What are you doing? Hmm? What are we doing today? Hmm? We're messing in the garage today, are we? Yeah. You're lovely and warm. Nice warm blanket, aren't you, today? Where are you going? Okay, thank you. Right. Thanks for this. Thanks for the gift you give us every time you come near us.